I just watched the 5th episode of season 6 of American Horror Story, and I am absolutely freaking out. If this is your first ever time seeing my face, you need to pause this video right now, go to the description box and watch my theory video that I shot after watching episode 4, and get ready to have your mind blown, because my mind is blown right now. Like, I so far am on track to figure out this season, which completely freaks me out, because I was just like, no one can do this. No one can predict this. That's what I would say over and over, because I do these live reaction shows every week. But everything that I said in this theory video goes right along with what happened in the 5th episode. So let's just talk about this episode. First of all, thank God for Evan Peters. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. This show has missed you so much. And for those of you wondering, has he been in previous episodes because he was credited? Yeah, I think he's actually... I don't know. I mean, I feel like he could be the interviewer. I don't think he was the pig person, but I definitely think he's going to play a major role in the rest of the season, okay? So when you watch my video, please do, because you'll understand what I'm saying now. And this is 2 seasons in 1. It totally makes sense. I think we have 5 episodes left, so we dedicated 5 episodes to Roanoke, and the other 5 are going to take place in LA. Just like I said in my video, the Roanoke storyline was wrapped up in episode 5. This absolutely happened. So I wasn't really sure where episode 5 was going to go, and it was kind of crazy and all out there, but there was so much action. So we have Evan, who basically was a character in Roanoke. His character came after the Butcher had appeared, like 100 years later. And at first I wasn't sure if this guy was a good guy or a bad guy or what, but thankfully in the end he played a major role in helping everyone escape. So we also have these crazy, like, I think cannibal people, and the return of Frances Conroy, which this woman praised. She's amazing. Loved her in her previous seasons, but she's really freaking crazy right now. And this poor man who used to live in the house and make those videos, he like moved to that underground shelter thing. And he's missing a lot of limbs, and I think they're basically eating him, and it's terrible. And basically they were going to return Shelby, Matt, and Flora to the Butcher, which they did, and of course they were all going to die, which I was like, there's no way they can die. Like I've said before, like I said in the theory video, they don't die because they do the interviews. We know they're not dead. And I really didn't think that they would kill Flora. So they do chop, like, crazy Frances, uses an axe on Shelby's like ankle, leg, I don't know. I just basically thought she was going to bleed to death, and I still find it a little weird that she never got medical attention and still survived, medical attention at that time. But so Lee figures out that they need help, and she's being let go by the sheriff, I guess. And so I was like, that's going to be their way to escape, because the sheriff's going to come out there. But it turns out he was in on it, so he just drops her off at this scene, because the crazy cannibal people have dropped, Shelby, Matt, and Flora at the scene of the house where they're all going to be, murdered. Terrible things are going to happen. But thank God this one guy who was like part of the entourage, backstabbed the Butcher basically and was helping them, and then Evan stepped up and he was actually helping free them, which was amazing. They got a getaway car. They go to a motel. So we're at the very end of this episode, and I'm nervous because I'm like, is my theory going to work? Is it going to pan out or what? And so when Shelby sees someone at the door, thinks there's someone at the door, and she opens it and it's the Butcher, I was like, no, my God, this is not wrapping up. But thankfully it was a dream. It's a recurring nightmare. She still has it. So for those of you asking, did the stuff in Roanoke really happen? Yes, I absolutely believe that it happened, but I think we are done with that. Now, what I think is going to happen with the rest of the season is that the people who were the actors, they reminded us every single time it was a dramatic reenactment. The people like Evan and Kathy and Lady Gaga are going to be just regular people in episode 6, but they're going to start being plagued by the Roanoke stuff, possibly. They're going to be haunted. So there might be some carryover from that, but I don't think they're going to go back to that scene, because essentially they were, on a set filming all of that anyway. So what I was most nervous for was the preview for next week, because I was wondering, that was going to be the big tell-all. Was it really going to match up with what I said in my theory video? And it was the shortest preview ever, but it was a quick shot of like people who were working on the set, and they're talking about getting like a shot they needed to get, like keep rolling or something. So it absolutely fit with everything I said in my theory video. So I literally have chills. I had chills watching that episode. I think this season is in line to be the best season of American Horror Story ever. I really cannot wait. It's just all making sense now, because the promos, like I said in my theory video, did not make sense. We saw some of the scenes in Roanoke that we saw in the promos, but there were other promos that we had not seen, and I knew they weren't just making these up. So now we're going to have that. It's all going to make sense. Evan's going to be a major player. Lady Gaga is going to be a major player. Kathy is going to be a major player. All of those people are going to be major players, but just in different roles. I'm so excited to see what you think. Where do you think this season is going? What's going to happen with the rest of it? Do you love it? Thumbs up if you love it. Thumbs up if you're excited for next week. I am freaking out for the 6th episode. I literally cannot contain my excitement. So if you love this show, I do live reaction shows every week, and I also will be doing these types of videos. So please subscribe. I would love to have you along for this amazing journey. I also only cover like horror shows and things that are very similar to American Horror Story. So you might actually like stuff that I do that is not this show as well. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Kelly TV. I'll see you soon.